Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm doing a video today, so I hope that this works okay. I have a new refurbished iPad, so maybe I'll be able to do more videos because it'll be a little easier. So I am here today with your daily wisdom shot, and I'm using my brand new deck that I just got from, also used, but I got it from the Czech Republic. It is the Victorian Romantic Tarot, which is like a collector's item, but it is the Russian edition. So I'm super excited. My Russian is terrible. I went to school in Russia. Almost, actually, it is 20 years ago now that I went to school in Russia. I can't even believe how old I am. So I am super excited to have this, and I'm learning the tarot words in Russian. It's taking me some time to figure out which card is which, because some of them are obvious and some of them are not. So in any case, I'm really excited to be using this deck. And we're going to do your daily advice now. While I'm shuffling, first of all, I'm intending that this reading is for whoever, not only my followers, but anyone who is resonating with my readings and comes in contact or comes across them on the YouTube channel. And I want to ask you guys to please do subscribe, like, share, comment. All those things help the videos to be seen. And I am just really trying to build up a little bit because, as I've talked about in my last few videos, I'm really working hard on moving out of my current career in animal rescue and into my healing career. So even though I will still have a foot in the animal rescue because I created it and will stick around as the president of the group, but would really like to spend more time with you guys and doing readings and really doing a lot of energy healings, which is what I excel at. It's really what my calling is, I think. So in any case, you can schedule a reading with me or an energy healing either in person if you're in the southwestern Ohio area or northern Kentucky area, or everything that I do can be done remotely on like Google Hangouts or even just a phone call. So all of it still works the same. And I have a lot, actually, the majority of my clients are phone clients because they're literally all over the world. So that can be scheduled at redhoundreiki.com. I do want to give you the heads up that I am rebranding, probably just to my name, but I'm in the process of that. And also, my rates will be going up as of January 1st. So I do recommend that you go and schedule now so that you can get locked in at the old rate. I just ask that you schedule sometime before the end of February, and you'll do the scheduling at the time that you make the payment on the website, okay? I think that's all the announcements I have for you, so let me just shuffle, get our advice for today. Felt like it. That Three of Swords keeps coming out. Interesting. And it came out with the Emperor again. There's really something going on with our masculine energy right now. And potentially with men in our lives, whether they be a divine complement or just like fathers, brothers, you know, friends. There's a lot of stuff going on with the masculine energy right now. And I think it has to do with a lot of clearing and a lot of clearing the way of like negative emotions and heartbreak kind of energy, and really clearing away blockages that are keeping us from allowing it's this like not allowing that is happening, and I think it's based on in fear and pain. So it's like removing the pain and clearing and healing the pain is like really what's happening right now. But okay, so bottom of the deck is, this is the Wheel of Fortune. So this has come out before this week as well. So I'm really feeling like things are continuing to turn toward the better, that like all things are working out in divine timing. That's what I keep saying to myself when, I get frustrated with the rate of how things are changing in my life, because I know so much is like waiting to shift and change. And it's kind of waiting on me, things happen in divine timing, but the divine is waiting for us to be in the right place in order to let things move forward in our lives. And so like there again, we're going back to like that clearing of this energy of pain and disappointment and the burden that we're carrying in our hearts. And we need to remove that, because while it's very real, that energy is very real, it is also fully within our control to clear that and to bring in a more positive vibration to clear that pain, so that this wheel starts to turn in our favor in a more positive direction. Yeah, right under it, sorry, it takes me a second because I have to read the Russian to know what these cards are right now. Right under it is the Eight of Pentacles, which is the work that we're doing in order to clear that energy, okay? So that is happening for everyone right now. We have in the first column the Empress with the King of Cups. And at some point I'll get brave enough to actually say the Russian words for you, but right now I don't feel very confident in my pronunciation 20 years after having studied it. So in any case, with the Empress with the King of Cups, the feeling of that is, it's like through the work that we're doing in clearing the heartache and the pain and the limiting beliefs, I really feel like there's this rebirth or birthing of a new set of emotional mores, which is like kind of like rules. So it's like this weird balance of like this very archetypal feminine energy with the feminine aspect of the masculine, which is the King of Cups, right? So there is like this set of I guess I'm going to keep using the word rules because I can't come up with a better word, but there's this new set of rules that we're making for ourselves that is really based in heart-based energy. And it's going to drive us back into that fifth dimensional vibration that we all want to be holding. And this vibration is, it's opening up our heart chakras, and it's also opening up our manifestation abilities, because we are vibrating more consistently at the rate that at the rate of allowance. And that means that it allows the universe to then send in the positive or the vibrations of the things that we're meant to have, I guess, in our lives. It's like the highest possible timeline, the highest possible vibrations when we realign with this sort of heart-centered set of principles or set of rules. It allows us to become, okay, so our vibratory signatures are very closely related to our emotions, which are created by our thoughts, okay? So the thought forms that we're creating are affecting our emotions, and then it's the emotions that then attract in the vibrational signature. I know I'm really getting out there for some of you guys, so please, like, just take this at face value or whatever it means for you or however it resonates, but it attracts in the energies that are then matching your vibration. So when you're operating in this higher fifth dimensional plane, then you are manifesting at that higher rate, on that higher level, on that higher timeline. All of the things that you want, that you desire, and it's based in your heart. This is not based in like lust or greed or desire or anything like that. It's based in the real truth of what you want and who you are. Someday I'll come up with better words for describing these things, but this is what I have for you right now. So that's starting to happen, and it really means, and this is what I keep saying to myself when I find myself in my head space, which really is like, gets us caught up in fear or obsessive type energies. So when I feel myself going up there, I'm like, drop into your heart space, and I literally feel my energy drop in here. So try that. Try to take, practice your attention in different places in your body, like what it feels like to bring your attention into your heart, okay? And you can practice it moving it anywhere. You can bring your attention into your left hand and see what that's like. You know, I feel now the energy in my left hand because I moved it over there. So move your attention, and so practice moving your attention down into your heart space. And when you do that, the truth of how you feel is going to become more real, and the way that you feel is going to direct you as to the reality and the truth of different situations, right? Fear is the thing that is misguiding you. That's the thing that's not reality. So there may be pain in here, and that might be real, right? But if the fear is showing up in your stomach and your gut, then that is, again, fear, which equals illusion, which is not truth. All right. We go through that all the time, but I want to really drive that home, and especially for people who are just seeing this video for the first time, that's an important thing to know, especially to understand my way of reading or seeing the world. The second column is the Eight of Wands with the Seven of Cups. It took me a second. Eight of Wands with the Seven of Cups. I just want to take a second to get the feeling of that. There's this more urgent need to start making some choices, to start fishing out. I say that because this guy is fishing out that which it is that we are choosing to move forward with. It's almost this hurry up and wait energy. And I know that's really annoying. But what it is like, you know, this is definitely a time to work on ourselves and to be bringing in this new emotional mastery. This new creation of this heart-based energy. However, when you're there, there's a real need to know what it is that you're choosing, because you're going to start manifesting even more profoundly in this energy. Okay? For me personally, the Magician came out again today as my underlying energy, and that makes a lot of sense based on this energy. Sorry, my foster dog's barking downstairs. Hopefully he won't start doing kill barks at whoever's going into the office down there. Anyway, so there's a real need to start making these choices, even if you're not making direct physical movements toward it, but there is this indication of potentially direct physical movements toward the things that you're choosing, and really like getting in line with what it is that is coming out of your heart space, that's being created through this new perspective. Okay, the hand movements, this is what my guides are doing as I'm talking, so sometimes I start doing it myself. This is a real advancement in like the forward motion, right? The wheel of fortune here. I don't want you to think that things are just going to switch automatically. There is a new moon coming up, which is very transitional. It's in a fire sign of Sagittarius, which does have this kind of Eight of Wands energy. Oh my God, I'm sorry, my dogs. I've locked myself in the healing room, and they still are loud. So there's this real like forward movement of that Sagittarius energy um, in the new moon. And I feel like knowing beforehand what it is that you want or making your choices is going to really set you up for some success. And here we are again in this sort of advice column with the Three of Swords and the Emperor card. I pulled a different Emperor card yesterday. This deck happens to have two Emperor cards. Don't know why, but so we got the one that looks like Napoleon yesterday, and today we get the one that's like, I don't know. I want to say Amenhotep, but I don't know who that really is supposed to be. And again, this is removing those fears and blocks that are held within our heart space from our ability to move forward, the forward movement here. And it's like these blocks are hindering our forward movement and hindering our choices, kind of maybe confusing the choices, surrounding them with some fear. If you see like there's a lot of dark, there's this dark woods in the background, which is to me like often when it's dark like this represents like the fear of the unknown. So there's some fear of the unknown because things are changing. This is a whole different way of approaching life, okay? And we're clearing our structure. This is our body clearing. This is our the structure we built our lives upon. So like the rules and what's the word I'm looking for? I keep going back to rules, but that's such a small word compared to what it is that I'm trying to express. The social structure. This is the ethical boundaries we've set for ourselves. Some of these are not even serving us anymore, and they're not based in truth. They're based in some kind of fear, heartbreak, or limitation that has come about through the three swords that we carry in our hearts, whether it be because of our own experience. I'm feeling right now that it's coming through our own experience, it's coming through our ancestral experiences. So we're clearing this old paradigm for our ancestors right now, as well as society's expectations. So like if you're talking theta healing, this is like clearing things on the history level and on the genetic level. This is broad, but it is also very much can boil down to our experiences in relationship to other people. So we're very much talking about our relationship to ourselves here, and also our relationship with our divine complement, or with other important players, people who are central to our life stories right now. Because I'm reading for a lot of different people. Some people may not be on that same journey, but I am feeling, because of the appearance of both the Empress and the Emperor, that there's a lot of divine complement energy here. And it's also the divine complement energy within us, like the balance of the two within us. So we're clearing out that heartbreak, and there's a real necessity to dig in there. This dog in this picture feels significant to me. I feel like we can trust that this is the right thing. We can trust that we can walk into the dark forest. We can rely upon our inner guidance, but also our divine guidance to be led in the right direction, that we're not being led back into this heartbreak. We're being led to the healing of it. I'm just getting a lot of loving support in this process. So I'm seeing right now. I have like hundreds of guides and angels and record keepers and higher light beings and ascended masters all surrounding me. You all have a whole bunch of them too. I don't know how that works out in like numbers, but like for me, they almost surround me like a donut, like some kind of spare tire of light energy, and they're all fifth dimension or higher. Many of them are much higher because they allow me to do the healing work that I'm doing. So in any case, this is like them because they have such an amazing healing, warm, loving, surrounding energy. And every single one of you has this. If you don't feel like you do, it's because you haven't accepted their existence yet. And until you accept them and invite them into your life, it's not going to, the only way that they can act is to save your life, basically. So they're not going to be necessarily stepping into your life except to do the big things, the really important things. But you need to ask and receive their help. And if you do, then you are receiving the guidance through this period of removing these three swords from your heart, because we're all walking around with that. Like we're all holding onto injury and hurt of all kinds. A lot of betrayal in there, especially for me. I have a lot of betrayal energy, and it just continued to play out through this lifetime until I started pulling those swords out, maybe even just this year, like in earnest. I had worked on it and thought I was doing it, and then there's always this like next layer, and this guidance, these loving companions on other planes and in other dimensions are here to walk you into that. Okay, you don't need to know or make all the decisions or have all the answers. You need to follow your loving guidance. And you might not be at the place where you're clairvoyant or clairaudient or even using any of the clairs to understand this, but you probably are acting at a level where you just know what the right thing is, and that is another form of intuition. So follow that and feel it. This clearing is just so important right now. Okay, so I feel like I'm making this really long to say the same thing over and over again, as I do all the time. But just to recap, there's a new way of operating now, and it's through the heart space, okay? There's a clarity and a truth that's coming out through the heart space. You just need to learn how to understand the messages. This is propelling us forward very quickly. The manifestation is happening very fast because this heart space is the strongest energy, or one of the strongest energies, if not the strongest energy in our body. Okay, so when we're operating from there, you're pulling in very profoundly the energies that you're creating through making profound choices, deciding what it is that you want, and fearlessly going forward into the clearing of these heartbreaks that we are carrying around for our families, for our cultures, for ourselves. All right? This is turning the wheel. Very profoundly turning the wheel. Okay? All right, let's get an oracle card to top this off, because why not? This is I keep saying this wrong every time. The Work Your Light oracle, I think. Get an oracle card to support this reading, please. All right, these two just fell out. It's kind of lame, but I'm going to take them anyway. Oh, well. Okay. Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. I just spent like 10 minutes talking about that. So your guidance is divinely guided. And that's like the dog there. You know, You're being led by your, the Akasha is the record keepers. These are some of your highest possible guides, and you're being guided along, whether you know it or not, in the important ways. And you're going to start getting even more information and more guidance if you ask and allow them to clearly express themselves to you in your life, okay? This may come clairaudiently, clairvoyantly, clairsentiently, claircognizantly, that's just the knowing. Or it may come through, well, the clairsentience is, to me, it's intuition. So it may come through an inner knowing. Or it could come through the actual things that are just happening in your life, and you see them as signs, and you don't want to get crazy about that. But once you allow that, then the divine knows, okay, she's listening or he's listening. And those things are going to start to come through more clearly in more and more precise ways. That's what synchronicity is. And you're going to know because you've accepted that as a way of communication. That's divine communication. That's how it comes in for most people. So notice those things when they're coming in. That's your guidance, okay? The next card is Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. That's literally this heart-based, heart-centered existence or new way of existing that we're creating, right? Through the Empress and the King of Cups. That's the creative energy of heaven on earth. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. How, like, intense is that? And I fully believe this. This is that fifth dimensional, heart-based existence, okay? It's coming. We're doing it. You're doing it through the releasing of these lower vibrational energies, these hurts, these pains, the suffering, which is dragging you down and creating a new way of existing within relationship and within everything that you're doing. Because everything that you're doing, like we've talked about in the last couple readings, walking forward in your day-to-day 3D life with love in your heart is creating this fifth dimensional reality, okay? All right, I hope this resonates with you guys, that it gives you some perspective. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please subscribe and share, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.